All right, and welcome to another edition of Ram Country Conversations. Brian Roth, voice of the Rams, back with you. And while we continue to talk Colorado State Ram football, and we're joined by Joey Lynch, the offensive coordinator for Ram football. Joey, great to see you. And I know things starting to kind of get back to normal. All the coaches back in Fort Collins, and I know the facility's going to be opening up. And I imagine that's going to have a big impact on you guys as a coaching staff, that everybody is in their first year.
Yeah, no question. It's we've been working hard through this whole process. Of course, everything virtually, and it'd be good to see guys face to face. And of course, we do staff meetings every day with Coach Adiz as a full staff, and break off the offensive defensive meetings. And but to be honest, it'd be good to have everyone together, and so you see the defensive guys just in the staff meeting, and then you go your separate ways. So it'll be nice to get together as a full staff and get this thing moving in the right direction. But feel like we've got a lot done during these times away from each other, and our kids did a great job, but definitely nice to have a little true interaction with each other.
I was talking to Chuck Heater, of course, defensive coordinator now for Colorado State, about how much of the install his defense got in the 7 spring practices that you guys were able to hold. Obviously, you didn't get the final 8. He said about 35% of the defense that they were able to install. What about the offense? How much did you guys get installed in that limited time?
Yeah, I think honestly we got a little bit more than that. I think we're 60, 65%, and really through the first 7 practices got a foundation of who we're going to be and how we're going to do it, and our base offense is in. And so naturally some of the situational stuff we didn't get to that you normally get through through the course of spring practice. That's the kind of stuff that we really didn't get to implement as a full offense. But even that, is a situational awareness and how that translates to why we do what we do. But a lot of those plays that we install through our base offense will show up in those situations as well.
How about evaluating personnel on your roster? Obviously, you guys weren't here last year. You've gone back. I know you've watched all the games in detail last year, probably the year before that, trying to evaluate what you have on your team. It kind of puts you behind the 8 ball. Are more jobs maybe opened up this fall because you just haven't had enough time to see in person the talent that you had? I mean, are all the jobs open coming into the fall?
Well, the first thing I'll say is there's no question. We came into the staff and watched all the tape and got a feel for our guys, based on what they did in the 2019 season, et cetera. But really having 7 practices with them on the field, getting our own hands on them, we got a really good feel for our personnel and what they do best and how we can put them in position to have success. And the next thing I'll say is, competition brings out the best in everybody. And the great thing about football is you got to show up every day. And there's no question we got some guys in the offense that have had more success or more proven track records. But the great football teams, you recruit to get better, and young guys come in, and every job we want guys to compete on a daily basis. And no question that we feel good about some of the returners that have been very productive for us in the past. But excited about some young guys and looking forward just to competing at all spots because it makes us all better.
Yeah, I guess we can. They'll probably go ahead and pencil in number 9 on the on the outside. How much have you been in touch with Warren Jackson? And obviously, he's going to be a big part of what you guys do here this year. And I know he has that type of mindset where even though he's locked down in California, he's a guy that I'm sure is still putting in the work.
Yeah, no question. He's a guy that, of course, has had unbelievable success for us as a program to this point, and excited for what he's going to do his senior year. But we have a lot of guys that are not in Fort Collins, and some are in Fort Collins. But I really feel like as a full team, as an offense, our guys are working really hard and doing what they can. So when the time comes, we're all back together. They're going to be ready. But he's definitely one of those guys leading the way and helping bring some young guys with us and kind of taking the next challenge as a senior. It's your job to play your best football, but also to bring the young guys with you. And I think we have a core group of guys that have really taken that to heart during this quarantine period.
All right, one final quick thought for you. With the new staff, shortened spring, obviously, as we talked about, the lockdown that we've all been in, what will be some of the biggest challenges for you and your offensive staff when the players come back here, hopefully sooner than later, and then when you're able to get them on the football field in the early fall?
Yeah, to be honest with you, just some of that situational stuff that you can cover in a meeting room and talk about, whether it's third down, red zone, 2-minute, all those things that are really important, but you learn the best by live reps. So those are the reps we missed out in spring practice, but we'll do our best to educate them in the meeting room, and we'll get going with that as soon as we can with those guys. But I really think we have a good group and a smart group, and some guys that played a lot of football. This quarantine period, we've been able to slow down and teach a lot of football at the same time, through these virtual meetings, and kind of reinstalled everything we did throughout spring practice, which was huge. We'll kind of restart that here. We gave them some time off for finals and everything else, and now we're kind of getting back into the summer phase and getting back to some football and reinstalling, and also adding to some things that we didn't get installed. So when we get going in August and we hit the ground running, anything we're doing as an offense, they will have heard and been installed, and so we can play as fast as we can, starting whatever date that is in August.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's early August, and hopefully we're playing some football on September the 5th. Joey, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you out in the practice field.
Hey, I appreciate it, and looking forward to getting out there with all you guys and getting guys back ready to go this summer.
All right, that's Joey Lynch, offensive coordinator for Colorado State football. Thanks for joining us here on Ram Country Conversations.